Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your reading. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. So this week we are doing a monthly instead. I'm going to be carrying on with the weekly, so I'll be back on them next week. It's just that I'm feeling kind of like, oh wow, I've got to get, Wednesday 1st of July through to Sunday 5th of July and I've got to do it today. And I was about to do it on my iPad. And then I thought, I really don't want to record the YouTube videos on my iPad because I like doing fiddly things like speeding up the shuffles and, putting nice writing on and doing nice thumbnails and things like that. So I just thought, you know what, obviously you didn't have time at the start of the week to get the weeklies in. So what we'll do is we're going to have a bit of a treat, guys. We're going to do a monthly for you this week and just showing you the but we'll be back to weeklies next week, but you'll have a monthly reading anyway as a reference point. So we're just using a couple of decks this week. We're using the Golden Art Tarot Nouveau, which I really love. The Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and we're also going to use as Spiritual Advice Crazy Sexy Love Notes. I really just love this. I love this deck. It's phenomenal. It's wonderful. All right, guys, that's the decks for the week. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Hi Taurus, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me. We're going to do a July 2020 month ahead reading for you guys, okay? We're going to have a look at what the month has in store. I'll be back next week with weeklies, but it was just a little bit sort of quicker for me to do it like this, okay? So we're going to do a month ahead. Yeah, let's get shuffling. Okay, Taurus, let's have a look at the reading then. So what is the situation you're facing in July? Oh, is that meant to be reversed? Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to lie on readings because that's something I don't do. And I always try and be fair and honest about every single reading I do. But this looks like a setback to me. It may be that there are delays in communication, for example, with the Eight of Wands energy, or something takes time to get off the ground. But the Eight of Wands in the reverse will be a delay card. Information taking time to come in is the Eight of Wands. Communication being delayed, for example, not receiving emails, that type of thing. Something that needs to get moving, or a plan that was in process or in progress being halted. With the Eight of Wands in the reverse, that type of thing. What's influencing this? Oh, right, okay, Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords would be, it could be an argument, for example, because you've got three different opinions. There's some form of disappointment or separation or falling out with the Three of Swords energy. It could just be disappointing news, or maybe there are other people involved in the situation, or interference, for example. Or the Three of Swords really it's a Libra card, so it's a second decan in Libra, and really this is about balanced ideas or balanced thoughts, because the two swords at either side of that third sword, Taurus, these are actually quite balanced, but it's the third sword that kind of off balances, sets these two off balance. So really this could actually be a card as well about having to make somebody who's interfering in the balance, or somebody who's setting something off, that, or somebody who's interfering in the balance of a situation. Or it could be with the Three of Swords energy, that having to make a really important and really difficult decision as well with the Three of Swords. What's the root cause of everything though? Well, it's about a relationship, the Lovers. So this is about a relationship. What's the root cause? It's about a decision. It's about relationship. So the root cause of everything is the Lovers. Two people, perhaps, or a decision. Separation. And what's influencing this? So this looks like it's about a relationship to me, the Lovers. And it looks like as a result of this, there's a lack of progress. Or it could be decision, because Lovers can be read as a decision as well. So it could be the root cause is that there's a decision here. And because of this decision or relationship, the Lovers, it could be as a result of that you're facing a lack of progress or a setback with the... So it looks like it may be a decision actually. It makes more sense to read it like that. Feels to me it's because of a decision here with the Lovers energy. And you're facing a setback as a result of that decision. Because it feels like with the Three of Swords energy, there may be some conflict with the Three of Swords. So it feels like what's influencing this is conflict There's conflict over a decision that's been made, and this is stopping the delay of the situation here. This may be not necessarily you. This may be somebody outside of yourself that's kind of imposing this. In the last few weeks, what have you been experiencing concerning this situation? Ah, Magician reverse. I get the impression you've got somebody who's I've got the impression you've got a troublemaker, somebody stirring up some trouble here. And I'm getting the impression that this is more one person coming between two people here, because of this Magician, what you've experienced. Now, I mean, the Magician okay, let me put it this way. It could be a person, the Magician. You've been experiencing somebody who's lying, somebody who's being underhanded, somebody who's a bit of a con artist, that type of thing with the Magician in the reverse, somebody who's been causing a lot of problems behind the scenes. But it could also be that things with the Magician energy in the reverse, things are taking time to manifest, for example. Again, it's a card about delays. This is communication, Mercury. Mercury, I think, in Gemini, maybe. Or I think it's the Magician, Gemini and Virgo, I think, is the Magician. But this could be the lack of communication coming up, or this could be somebody who's lying or telling lies. Somebody's putting a smoke screen up is a Magician reversed. Somebody who works towards causing problems, or somebody who's trying to cause some ill in a situation, in a relationship. This is a black magic type of person. I'm not saying that they're doing black magic, but magicians often are seen as people who create, bad energy. So they're, with the devil, they're people who are into black magic, that type of thing. They're not manifesting good stuff, they're manifesting bad stuff. Magician reversed. This person is a liar. This is the archetypal salesman who is, this is the archetypal salesman, the person who is selling, the cut and shut car, that type of thing. Or things are just not manifesting, they're not happening. But I get the impression that this is the person here. What is also influencing this? So what's the external factors around this as well, contributing to this? Well, the Ace of Wands is something new. It's about having power in the hands. It's about something new being created. The Ace of Wands, something new emerging. Ace of Wands energy. Okay, so something, you've got the Star, which I think this is a very good combination. So something new emerging, it's really positive. So the external factors contributing to this is that we're starting something here. It's really positive with the Star energy showing here. Something new emerging, it's really positive, but it's leading towards there being a setback, because it feels like there are decisions that need to be made, and it feels like that everybody doesn't agree on how this is going to go. And in the recent past, you've been experiencing the Magician. Now, that could be a person who's working for ill, or that could be simply that one does not have the tools, or one does not have the abilities, or one does not even have the confidence to start this thing, to start creating it, to start the process. So what I think is that the external factors are showing something new, probably a new project here. Something that's positive, or maybe an action that's positive, so taking positive action, Star in the Ace of Wands. The external factors are about taking positive action, starting something new that's positive, but it's leading to setbacks because of decisions. People together having to make decisions. There's discord in this Three of Swords. And you're experiencing a Magician. I've just got a feeling that this is somebody here who's kind of doing some funny stuff, some jiggery pokery stuff behind the scenes, probably trying to delay something. Or they want things their own way, maybe, with this Magician in the reverse. I think this may be a person that you've experienced in the recent past. They may be a part of this Three of Swords. They're the one that's causing the schism in this. Because usually, it feels to me like people that you work around are quite on board with this. But you've got this Magician who's causing the friction between the two swords here. Therefore, what's the most likely outcome of this situation, Capricorn? I think with the Strength energy, the most likely outcome would be that you will have to overcome, or you're going to have to try and overcome with the Strength energy, or you will overcome the challenges, or you will get somebody to see your point of view. Because if you look here, Taurus, the woman softening up the lion, So I just feel that the situation will be soothed. The situation will be smoothed out. So we want to have a look now at the mid-July. Let's have a look here. What are we seeing? All right. I mean, you do still have Taurus. There are still some problems here, I won't lie, because you've got a devil card coming in, which can mean that there are restrictions and there are still limitations. And I think, to all intents and purposes, looking at the situation, this is probably still going to be going on. You know, because we do have these setbacks. And the root cause of this is people. Decisions. People having to make decisions. Groups. People that you work with, the lovers. It doesn't have to be a lover. It could be a lover for some of you guys, but you've got these disagreements with the Three of Swords contributing to the setbacks. And there's somebody here who's paying funny buggers, this Magician in the reverse. They're being highly manipulative in the situation. They're probably even kind of orchestrating the whole thing, being that they're a Magician reversed. But I think that the most likely outcome will be that this will soften. You'll be able to, perhaps it's this Magician reverse that's causing the you know, because you've got the Three of Swords. This is one person coming in between two. And if the root cause of those setbacks is to do with you and another individual, for example, having to make decisions, but what's influencing this, the setback is that this Magician here reversed is coming in between you and this individual here, in that you've got somebody who's kind of upsetting the apple cart. Then it may be with the Strength energy, even though we could read the Strength energy as overall the situation will be settled, it will be, you know, it will be softened, you'll be able to maybe seduce this Magician in reverse to kind of turning the setback into the upright of the Eight of Wands, where we've got the, you know, the go ahead again, that type of thing. I feel that, you know, we're just going to be able to kind of soften the situation. So I think that the opposite will be overcome as the most likely outcome. But I do, in reality, see in the mid-July, you've still got some setbacks here. What's the advice? The advice is the world for you to do. I mean, it could be for some of you guys, you need to take the higher ground with the world energy. But what strikes me on this world energy is the ring. And the clothing over the lady as well. It's almost like you need to kind of protect yourself a little bit here, because you're quite vulnerable, I think, in the situation. And often when you get the world as well, the ring around the world is the ring of protection. So it's almost like you need to protect yourself in this situation here. Okay, don't leave yourself open, I think, because she's partially clothed. She's not complete, you know, naked people on cards mean vulnerability. So you need to protect yourself and don't leave yourself open to attack, or, you know, don't leave yourself open or so vulnerable. What is your hopes or fears? I think that your fear with the Seven of Coins, it depends on how you read the Seven of Coins. I've always found the Seven of Coins a very interesting card, in that you can read it as gaining reward for hard work, or you can read it as having to wait. Now, the fear may be having to wait. You've put the work in, but having to wait for something now to flourish, because it's dependent on this Magician reversed who's causing the upset in the situation. They seem to be throwing a spanner in the works. Or your hope would be to finally have money released or something like that, or to see rewards for all the hard work. It just feels like there is a setback being caused by somebody who's throwing a spanner in the works. You can see that the third sword here is probably them. They're in the middle of those two swords, which is you. Because I think that you agree with others on how something should proceed. It looks like it's a positive action. It's a new project. It's really positive, that type of thing. It may be a project that deals with the star energy. It might be something to do with television, or you know, something to do with the media or something like that. But there are setbacks in this due to disagreements, Three of Swords, between the lovers. So between yourself and other people, possibly. Where are things heading to? We've got this limitation card still here, the Devil. So we've still got limitations here with the Devil energy. Where is everything leading to as a result of that card? The Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is a tricky card to read in a way, because you could say, well, we've got limitations here, there's still problems, but it's leading to the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords could be that it's leading to something being over, something being the ending of something. The end. Usually this could be the ending of a painful situation, but you're leading to, it's leading to death. It's leading to, I think it's leading to some form of failure, if I'm being honest with you. it feels like it's leading to the failure of the situation. And I'm going to clarify that card actually and ask what you mean by the Ten of Swords. Because sometimes the Ten of Swords can be, well, it's leading to a final situation, or it's leading to the ending of something. It ends in a painful way, but there's a new beginning afterwards. I think this feels like failure. I think that somebody's giving up. It's leading to somebody giving up, I think, because the Ten of Swords can be like, I'm done with the situation. I'm finished with it. It's done. What do you mean by this? The devil, the limitations that are being experienced by Taurus is leading to the Ten of Swords. What do you mean by that in 2 cards? Well, there you go. Flipped out the Eight of Swords. So Eight of Swords is about feeling powerless and feeling stuck with the Eight of Swords energy here. The King of Cups and the Devil. So the Devil and the King of Cups for me is somebody who's highly manipulative, emotionally manipulative, feeling stuck and powerless against an emotionally manipulative individual here, I think. And that's why I think it's saying that you're done with it. It fails because you're stuck. The situation would probably fail, I think, with the Ten of Swords, because you're stuck. Eight of Swords, you're powerless against this manipulative person. Now, that manipulative King of Cups is that magician. They're one and the same individual here, Taurus. You know, I always try and keep the readings really positive every single week. That's how I roll as a reader. But I'm not somebody who's going to turn something into something I don't think it is. That's not what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to do it for views. And I'm not going to do it for, you know, subscribers. I'm not going to do it to enhance the channel. I'm not doing that. I'll always read from the heart. That's how I roll. That is how I roll. Simple as that. I'm just a truth teller. And I always have been and I always will be. I'm a Scorpio. I'm not going to change things up so it suits somebody else's narrative. Now, if you want to read these cards in whichever way you want to read them, that's down to you. This is how I feel about the reading that I've constructed and how I feel. I feel that there are setbacks. Eight of Wands reverse is going to be your setback card. There are setbacks. The root cause of those setbacks are the Lovers. It's a group of people. There's disharmony within the group of people here. And I think in the recent past you've been experiencing not only that there's been no action being taken with the Magician in the reverse, you've been experiencing somebody who's been, I think, at the helm of it. They've been manipulating the whole thing from behind the scenes. Okay? And I feel that the lack of action is due to this positive thing. Like, the external factors also contributing towards this is the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands would be having the power in your hands. Okay. The Star card would be to shine out, to shine, to be recognized. But we want to know why this is happening. So the external factors around this, so externally, behind the scenes, what also is happening is, this may be about, for example, a new project, something that's positive, or taking a positive action. So the situation is, there are 3 things here. We've got a positive action, a new project, something positive happening. Somebody who's very powerful and recognized, perhaps, as a person. But as a result of that, there's no action being taken because there are disagreements, or because the lover disagrees. So this, we could probably read this as well and say, well, this isn't about a project. This may be the Magician reversed, may be the Ace of Wands and the Star. This person may have power because the Star is recognizing this. Maybe that this person has the power in their hands and they know it with the Star. And therefore, they know that they can, therefore, because they have the power and they know it, they recognize it with the Star and the Ace of Wands. Therefore, that's why you're experiencing setbacks. Because they have made a decision with the Lovers to disrupt this. And in the recent past, you've been experiencing a Magician in the reverse. So I actually am going to read it like that. I know it's taken me a while to read it like that, but it actually feels like it's that. The external factors, because when we look at external factors, the external factors is factors outside of the situation contributing to this. Somebody who holds power, somebody who's in a position of recognition and stardom, somebody who everybody likes, somebody who is very familiar to people perhaps. This person has power. They recognize this. They know that they have the power in their hands. And that's why. So the power that they hold is in the Magician reversed. Whoever it is around you that's doing this, they know that they have the power to halt your plans. Somebody around you is halting your plans. Now, the root cause for why they're halting your plans could be because it's jealousy, Three of Swords and the Lovers. So it may actually be that the reason that somebody is halting your plans is because there's jealousy here, Three of Swords and the Lovers. And the most likely outcome may be for them to stop halting your plans, maybe with the strength energy that you're going to have to cajole them. You're going to have to stroke their head and tell them nice things and say, well, if you take the limitations off this, I'll do this or I'll do that, or, you know, we could come to this agreement. Or, but I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, you're just cajoling them. Because I just think that the most likely outcome is going to be that you're going to have to cajole them. Because actually, when I really look into the reading, it actually feels like this person holds the power. And with the star energy, they know it. They know it. They recognise that they're in a very, very powerful position here. And that's why, as a result of that external factor, that's why you're experiencing setbacks. The root cause and what's influencing this, I believe, to be jealousy. The Lovers and the Three of Swords. And you've experienced their underhandedness in the last 3 weeks. In the last few weeks. Coming in, what we're seeing, and the most likely outcome is you're going to have to really go softly with them. Because if you don't, they're just going to tighten those reins even further. But nevertheless, coming in, we've got this Devil in the last 2 weeks of July. A tightening of the chains from this Magician. And I think that when it says the world is your advice, you really have to protect yourself. Because this person is looking for they're looking for your vulnerabilities. So you need to put the ring of protection around you here. You need to protect yourself from this person because they are looking to go in hard on you. Because they see you as a vulnerable target. And I think a lot of this is down to them being quite jealous. I think it's because they're quite jealous of you, Taurus. That's why they are trying to halt your progress here. They've got the power to do it anyway, and they know they're being underhanded, but they're using their power for ill. They're using their power for ill. That's the problem. They're using their power for ill. They're using it in all of the wrong ways. Because they're jealous. They're jealous. Your fear will be the Seven of Coins. Having to wait to see your hard work come to light. Seven of Coins. You've put the hard work in and now you're waiting for things to flourish. So your fear would be having to wait to see the fruits of your labour because somebody won't let you shine. Somebody will not let you progress. They won't let you advance because they're jealous of you and they want to hold you back as much as possible. This tightening of chains here with the Devil is leading towards, I think, Taurus, you guys just giving up on the situation with the Ten of Swords. Because I think that you are powerless against somebody's manipulation. The manipulation of the King of Cups. An emotionally abusive individual. Now, this could be a family member. This could be somebody who says, I don't want you to do this. I need you to stay with me. Blah, 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 blah. But they don't want you to advance. Or this could be a boss or a colleague or whoever. But there is somebody in this reading who is trying to stop you from advancing. And the reason that they're trying to stop you from advancing and moving forward is because they are jealous of you. And they will use their power to stop you moving forward. So the best thing to do, or the thing that you will probably do by the end of July, is just say, you know what, forget it, Ten of Swords, I'm done. Because I'm powerless against the manipulation, their emotional manipulation. You got the Devil twice in the reading as well, which is interesting. You're dealing with a highly manipulative, very clever, very strategical individual here. But you see beyond them, you see into them, because in the last 3 weeks you've experienced that Magician reverse. And doubled up, you've experienced somebody who's not only been underhanded, but you've already also experienced the inability to be able to use your skills and talents because of what this person is doing to you. So in the end, you may have to just let it go with the Ten of Swords. That's where it's leading to, letting it go. Because you're powerless against this manipulative, this emotionally manipulative individual. They're trying to manipulate everything, but it's really for their own ends. Let's have a look at, but there will be a path going forward. Let's just ask what it is that you need to do then. So if you're gonna, if Taurus is going to give up on this situation, what is it that they need to do in July? What is it then that they need to do in 2 cards? Right, 5 of Coins. I think that you need to close the door, let it go, walk out, release yourself with the Five of Coins energy showing there. Page of Cups in the reverse, because I think that this person doesn't have your best interest in doesn't have your best interest at heart. I don't think this person loves you. I think there's a because in this, because of the Page of Cups in the reverse. This person is disingenuous. So with the Five of Coins in the reverse, I think the best thing that you can do is just to turn your back on this individual, just to close the door. The Five of Coins means to go out there on your own, to outcast this individual. So it's to outcast someone. So it's really just to outcast them. Get rid of them. Close the door on them. Five of Coins energy. Because you're not going to receive any help or kindness from them. Not truly. They're not loyal. Page of Cups in the reverse. They're not loyal. They're not really loving towards you. They're not really kind. They don't really have your best interests at heart. They only have their own interests at heart. On top of that, they're a very jealous individual. Close the door on anyone who is disloyal and jealous. Page of Cups in the reverse. They're no good. Best thing to do is close the door on this individual. Let's have a quick look at what the spiritual advice is. What is the spiritual advice that you have for Taurus this week? What is the spiritual advice, please? Right, spiritual advice is say you're sorry. Wow. I don't know what you've got to say you're sorry for, but it's saying say you're sorry. Are you carrying around regret? Is there a relationship that needs healing, but you just don't know what to say? Give your pride a rest and simply start with, I'm sorry. Take responsibility and acknowledge your role in the situation. Apologise for them and for you, then let it go and be very proud of yourself. Well, I certainly agree with the letting it go part. Making amends isn't easy, but it's a huge leap forward for your spiritual path, bravo. And yeah, I certainly agree with that. You know, whatever it is that's gone on with this individual, there's dislike here. There's jealousy though, I think, with the Three of Swords and the Lovers. I think there's a lot of jealousy going on here with this individual. So I'm not sure whether I agree with the say you're sorry, but then it's coming from a higher place, so I guess you should do. But I think it's more about just forgiveness, to be honest with you. I would just say the spiritual advice, if I were to turn this advice around, and universe, I'm not going against what you're saying, by the way, but I think it's more about forgiveness, because it just feels to me that you're receiving the harm, not them. It feels like they're trying to do harm to you, not the other way around, Taurus. So I would say that maybe the spiritual advice is to forgive them. Forgive them, make amends and move on. That's what I would say. Okay, that is your reading for the month. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you would like a private reading, click on the link in the comment section below or the end screen. And yeah, have a great month, and I will see you for your weeklies on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.